Hi, I'm Caroline Labor, and in this video, I'd like to give you an introduction to a technique called tapping. Now, tapping is also known as EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. So what is tapping and what does it do? Well, in simple terms, tapping is a mind-body tool that deals with resistance in achieving your true potential. It allows us to dig into issues that actually get to the realm of inner resistance and personal development. The reality is that if you don't have the results that you want at present, then it means you have blocks there. And with tapping, we can help find and clear away those self-limiting beliefs that are standing in your way. So how do we do this? Well, tapping is an acupressure-based mind-body tool that's clinically proven to turn off, shut down and deregulate the fight or flight response, which is also called the stress response. Now, you often hear about the fight or flight response in relation to phobias of things like spiders or clowns, but it also happens in less obvious ways. For example, when you see someone erupt over something that seems minor, often they're drawing on a stress response from a past trauma. And it's also that sick feeling you can get in your stomach if there's something you don't want anyone to know about, like your level of debt, for example. And the one that's definitely easy to spot is anxiety, especially when the person experiencing it can't even tell you what the cause is. So how does tapping work? Well, the truth is that no one knows exactly how tapping works, but the results of tapping are based on clinical studies. Now, practitioners have done two kinds of tests or clinical studies where they've had someone in a fight or flight response, which we also call a hyperarousal of the nervous system. And practitioners have tested for the cortisol level or the stress hormone level in the person's body. And what they've been able to do is assess and clinically measure the drop over time in that person's cortisol levels as the person used tapping. So that was the first kind of test. The second kind of test they looked at was brain scans, where the level of stress can actually be seen in images as they scan the brain. And what they could see was the hyperarousal in the brain and the change that took place and came through in the new scans as the person was tapping. So what practitioners observed is the deregulation of that hyperarousal and the fight or flight response as the scan started to reflect images of a brain that was now moving towards a calm state. Now, there are various examples of how tapping is being used in practice. Firstly, you may have heard of Army veterans who experience post-traumatic stress disorder when they return home from war. And what typically happens is that everyday events can trigger a sudden fight or flight response. For example, a loud noise might remind them of a bomb going off, and they immediately react violently, or they might even withdraw altogether. And some people also get triggered into low self-esteem moments by perhaps a phrase that they hear, or maybe even a song or a smell. And many of us have experienced that instant shift of emotion at some point. Now, there are two websites you can check out if you'd like to see real-life examples of tapping. The first is www.stressproject.org, and this is where you can learn more about the Army vets and how they're using tapping. And the second website is www.energypsych.org, and here you can learn more about tapping as an established field of psychology. Now, you may be wondering, is there a catch with tapping? And the answer is yes, there is a catch. And that catch is that tapping looks rather funny when you do it. Now, what we'll be doing is tapping on acupuncture points because those acupuncture points are proven clinically to be electrically active in the nervous system. And as we talk and we tap on those points, what we'll be doing is switching off the fight, flight or freeze response that you might be experiencing. And so as you go through and experience this for yourself, what I recommend is that you just relax and go with the process and you'll see what I mean. It's very easy to do. Okay, so now it's time to get you tapping. As I said, it's very quick and easy to learn, and all you need to do is follow along as you watch this demonstration. Hi, I'm Caroline Labor, and in this video, I'd like to introduce you to tapping and show you the various tapping points that you can use in a tapping sequence. So the first point is typically used in what we call a setup statement, and that is your karate chop point. So that's at the side of your hand, and it's literally the point that you'd imagine if you were about to land a karate chop. And so what you want to do is use about 3 fingers from the opposite hand and just tap gently on that side of your hand on that karate chop point. And you can just use the one hand or you can alternate, it's completely up to you. And so what you do in the setup is you would open your tapping sequence with a phrase such as, "Even though I feel so angry today, I completely love, honor, and accept myself." And you do this maybe 4 or 5 times. Even though I feel so angry today, I completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I feel so angry today, I completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I feel so angry today, I completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I feel so angry today, I completely love, honor, and accept myself. Okay, so that's our setup using the karate chop point. And if you'd like to give it a go, you can simply go back to the start of the video and just follow along with me. And if anger's not the feeling that resonates with you, then simply replace it with an emotion that's quite dominant for you at the moment. So once we've done the setup, what we would do is actually move through a tapping sequence using the various tapping points. And so I'll show you what they are now. So the first point is what we call the eyebrow point. And that involves tapping with either hand, literally in the center of both eyebrows, hence why we call it the eyebrow point. And you would just gently tap here between the eyes. Now the next point is the side of the eye. And so we literally tap here to the side of the eye, just where you can feel that bone next to your eye. Now the next point is under the eye, and that's literally here, just underneath the ridge where you can start to feel the bone. And again, you can use either hand, so if this is more comfortable, feel free to use this side of your face. You can actually tap on both sides of your face simultaneously if you like as well. There's really no wrong way to do this. Okay, so the next point is under your nose, and that's literally just above your lip. And then we follow that with the chin, and you would tap just in the cleft of your chin. Now the next point is the collarbone point, and literally this is just underneath the bone that you feel here. Just move down to where you feel a bit of a dip, and this is where you want to tap. And again, choose the side that's comfortable for you and just tap with the opposite hand. So it could be either side. And then we have the point that's under the arm, and that's literally about 4 inches down from your armpit. And for the ladies, this is where your bra strap usually sits. And so just tap gently under the arm. And then the final point is the top of the head. And that's up here, just on the crown of the head. Just tap gently in the middle here. Okay, so they're the points that you would use in a tapping sequence. Now in terms of how to tap, typically I would use 2 sets of scripts. So the first script would be your negative tapping script, and this would focus on releasing the really deep, intense negative emotions that you might be feeling, that might be prompting you to tap in the first place. And so I'm going to continue with the example of someone who's feeling really angry and really let down. And so a tapping sequence and the script might go something like this. So starting with the eyebrow point, I feel so angry today. I'm so consumed by anger. I just can't believe it. Why do people let me down? Why does this always happen? I can't believe this anger. It's just consuming me. I'm so mad I could just scream. It makes my blood boil. Why are people so unreliable? Why can't they follow through with what they say they're going to do? I'm so angry that I got put in that position today. So annoyed. I wish this anger could leave my system. It's just making me so mad and so negative. I can't believe how unreliable people can be. I'm so angry, so angry. I really just wish that this anger could go away and that I could calm down. Okay, so that's an example of a tapping sequence. Now what you want to do here is, before you actually start the tapping sequence, you want to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how intense your feelings are, with 0 being not at all and 10 being extremely intense. So in that example, I might have been a 9 or a 10 because I think I sounded pretty angry. And so what you want to do is actually continue tapping through that sequence, repeating the same words about the negative emotions until you feel that number come down, and you want to get it all the way down to a 1 and ideally a 0. And you really just want to release those negative emotions out of your nervous system. And then once you've done that, and you'll know when you get there because you will feel a lot more calm and you'll just feel a lot more detached from the feelings that were so consuming when you began the tapping sequence. And so once you are down to a 1 or a 0, then what you want to do is actually move on to a positive tapping script. So one that focuses more on how you would have wanted the situation to be and how you want things to be going forward. And so an example of that, again starting with the eyebrow point, might be, I'm feeling quite tense about the day that I've had, but I acknowledge that sometimes you just have bad days. I'm really grateful for the opportunity that I have to be a leader and to manage a large team. And I acknowledge that sometimes that comes with some pretty big responsibilities. And I know that sometimes people will let you down and it is frustrating, but it happens. You have your good days and your bad days when you're a leader. I'm really grateful that I'm good at managing people and I'm learning to become a great leader, and I'm good at diffusing negative situations. I'm very grateful that I was able to maintain my composure today and that I was able to keep calm even in a very frustrating situation. I'm really grateful for the opportunities that I've been given, and I feel really empowered. Empowered to make good decisions and empowered to be a great leader. I'm grateful that so many people place their trust in me, and I'm going to keep proving myself as the great leader that I know I am right now and that I'm going to continue to develop to be. I'm so happy and grateful for all the opportunities that have come my way and for those that I know are still yet to come. Okay, so that was our positive tapping round. Now you could continue to do that several times as well, as many times as you want to, and what you want to leave feeling is just very empowered and positive and feeling like you can now move on from the situation and it's no longer consuming you. So now you know how to tap and you now know what the various tapping points are. So I hope you found that useful.
Congratulations, you now know how to tap. And that's all there is to it. So what's next?
Well, firstly, you can use this technique whenever you're experiencing anxiety or negativity by simply tapping on the emotion that you're feeling and saying whatever phrases come to mind. It's totally safe to express your negative thoughts and feelings. And in fact, I recommend that you do address the negativity first, because what you'll be doing is lowering the intensity of those feelings that are running through your nervous system. And once you feel that negativity start to settle, then you can actually switch to positive tapping with more positive phrases that now come to mind. And you'll feel a much bigger shift in your emotions at that point. Now, to address more specific issues, I provide a lot of tapping scripts throughout my courses, especially in the Financial Freedom Fast Track modules, where you can deal with specific self-limiting beliefs. So feel free to get started there if you've already enrolled. If you're new to Personal Empowerment Academy, then please head over to my website at personalempowermentacademy.com and check out our courses. And you can also grab yourself a free copy of our gratitude ebook while you're there. Well, that concludes our introduction to tapping, and thanks for watching this video. I'm Caroline Labor, and I look forward to helping you transform your life.